gorgeous, gorgeous girls learn how to master the art of detachment. While doing my shadow work, I have found that a huge part of my deep healing journey has been mastering detachment. Now, naturally, I am a very attached person. I'm very attached to my friends. I'm very attached to my family. And I was always very attached to my partner, my previous partner. And I have learned in my newfound journey that detachment is so healthy for the soul, and it really allows you to flourish and be the best version of yourself because you are not emotionally immature, you are more sound, you make better decisions, and you have a more clearer thought on who deserves your time and who doesn't. So we're gonna be talking about mastering the art of detachment for everyone who struggles with this and maybe a little bit attached to people in their life, a little bit too much. And we're going to specifically talk about dating and relationships and things like that because this is something that I personally am going through currently. So I would really love to share what I've learned with you guys. Of course, I'm gonna only ever speak from my own experiences because that's what I know how to talk about. So try to find ways to mold the things that I'm saying today into your own personal life, because obviously I'm gonna speak for mine and you guys can kind of see things from your own perspective. But all in all, I really want you guys to learn that it is so healthy for us to be more sound and be attached to ourselves and be detached from anybody and anything that just does not deserve our undivided attention, which is pretty much everyone. And it's just the way it goes. And it's just a really mature, healthy, amazing thing that you can do to be a better person and to thrive and to find the right people in your life, because we might attach to people that genuinely are not good for us. And it's better off to just be attached to no one. So let's get into it. Before getting started, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I hope that you guys like these videos. I really love talking about these topics. They're so important to me and they're really crucial to my own self-love journey and my own progress that I'm trying to make as being a better woman and just being a better human being all around. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Of course, I have my notes in front of me, so if you guys see me looking at my laptop, that's why. And yeah, guys, let's just get into how to master the art of detachment. So again, I do want to say that we are going to be talking about relationships, so I wanted to get into that first, which is me having a relationship for 7 years. So, and this is no shade to anybody. This is more of like look at me as a big sister that is kind of letting you guys know about things if you've never been through them. So if you have never been in love, take it from a girl who has. I was in love for a very long time. And I know what it takes to gain my love. I know what it takes to gain my respect. I know what it takes to gain my loyalty and my openness. And I feel like because of that, I do a little bit more logical thinking in my newfound single life, which means that I am not emotionally immature with men. I do know what it is. I know what I'm getting into. I know that my heart will try really hard to overpower my head, and it will try to become, you know, attached and obsessed and excited and maybe a little bit overzealous. And I really, really try to think and be more logical because I do know what it feels like to be in love. And I do know what it feels like to have somebody genuinely care about me. And I will not settle. I will not settle for anything less than that, which is why if you've never been in love, maybe you haven't been through something like that and you don't know what it's like to have a genuine connection with somebody that's worth your time and energy. It's worth giving a huge portion of yourself away to someone. And a lot of times if you haven't been in love, you're going to be a little bit emotionally immature. You're going to be a little bit deep with people that you shouldn't. And we are learning today, if that is us, we are not gonna do that. Being that I am 24, successful, creating a lot of things on the side, my time is occupied a lot and I really don't have time for nonsense, which is why I usually kind of lead with that when I meet people. I'm not overly sharing, but I kind of let them know, like, you're not my priority, you're secondary, and if not, you're not even really secondary, you're probably like the last thing that is on my mind in a non-disrespectful way. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's just that there are so many components that go into my life that make it whole. And the last thing that I'm doing is giving somebody that I just met my undivided time and attention. So if you do get my time, even if it's for 30 minutes, 2 hours, 4 hours, know that this time is precious and you do not want to mess things up with me. Because if you do mess things up with me in the time that I do give you, you're not getting that time back ever again. I think it's important to note that having your own life is super crucial for mastering the art of detachment. If you find that you're a little boy crazy or girl crazy, depending on what you like, and you don't have much going on, no shade, just saying, you know, maybe you're in school right now, you don't got really much going on, you're not really working at the moment, and all your time and focus goes into a person. They're going to smell that. It's a vulnerable thing for them. It's a vulnerability that they're going to see and they're going to possibly prey on because they know that you kind of need them. So I think that what's really great about detachment is knowing that you actually really just can't attach to things because you're super busy. So creating a busyness in your life, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's picking up on a hobby, whether it's journaling, reading, taking care of yourself, going to therapy, hanging out with your friends, shopping, it could literally be anything. This is going to create a healthy relationship with you and people because you're creating distance. You're creating just some sort of barrier between a person and your own life. And they can never really penetrate what you got going on because it's you. It's something that you're not going to change, and you're not willing to change these things because they are important to you. So I really want you guys to create a beautiful self-love journey for yourself so that you're not involved or heavily involved with anybody but yourself. You literally put you first. So you can't grow attached to people. You literally do not have the time. You don't have the freedom, and it's just not possible. And a lot of times we might have to fake it till we make it. Maybe we don't have a lot going on, we'll create something. Start picking up a book, start journaling, do some yoga in the house. Keep your phone out of your sight for a little bit. Do things for you. And I want you to understand that doing this isn't just to prove to somebody that you're not attached to them and you're like trying to play a game, because we're really not trying to play a game. We're very, very serious. Mastering detachment is for you. It's not for somebody else. We are creating this type of distance because it's healthy for us to have that life for ourselves. We don't need to be giving all of our life to somebody. We don't need to create all this time for somebody to have access to us. It's just not important. And I find that people respect you more, especially men, when they know that you just don't really need them like that. And it's just, to me, it's a great thing, and it's good for your mental health, and it's good for you to grow as a human being. And it also allows you to like not take anything too personally. So like if, let's just say you start talking to a guy tomorrow and things don't end up going well, maybe in 3 weeks, but you were not ever attached to this person. You didn't grow emotional attachment to them. They were not somebody that was like in your thoughts and every second of the day. Because a lot of times when we're talking to a guy, like that's kind of what it is. Like that's the fun part about falling in love or falling in lust, is that they're always on our mind. But create that distance in your mind saying, you know what? Let me think with my head. Let me not think with my heart. Let me see where this goes and grow in love with somebody. I don't need to give them all of that. Not only for yourself, but for them. You don't need to give them all of that right off the bat. It's not necessary, and it's just unhealthy. So when they do, let's just say, ghost you, cut you off or something, you're not really that hell-bent about it because you were still focusing on you. You were still showing up to yoga. You were still, you know, painting your nails. You were still taking good care of yourself. You still were going on your walks. You were still working, doing what you needed to do. And their distance and them leaving, their departure, really didn't mess up anything going on in your life. So that is what's so great about detachment. I actually wanted to read a few prompts that I read on Pinterest. It was like kind of like a dating Pinterest post, and one of the things was that number one is worry less if they like you and see if you really like them. This is so important. A lot of times we are so invested in a situation with a guy that we are so obsessed with the idea that they like us. Like, oh my God, I hope he likes me after this, and I hope he still thinks I'm pretty after our date, and I hope he still wants to kiss me or sleep with me or whatever. but we don't even know if we really like them. Do we have any similar interest with this person? Do we really actually like them, or do we just like that they like us? Do we think that this would be long-term? These are all things that need to go through your head, and I'm telling you, 98% of the time, you're gonna say, I actually really don't think I like this person. And that's okay, you know, you just go through some trial and error, date, you know, a couple different people to really see who's the one that's gonna be the top guy or girl for you. But I definitely think that having this healthy mind frame while dating somebody is so great, because you're not going to be super obsessed with the idea of somebody liking you, and you're gonna be more interested in, let me see if I really wanna give him a second date. Something like that. So the next thing is, stop choosing what isn't choosing you. It's not personal. So I actually experienced this recently where I started talking to this guy very briefly, and he was very hot and heavy, which a lot of them are. I believe that that is called love bombing, when somebody like says things to you that are very like, whoa. And I usually take them with a grain of salt, because I've learned that a lot of times like guys or girls will say things like just to like get you excited or happy, or maybe to get in your pants. Who the hell knows? It could be anything. So I really don't take anything that somebody says to me like super personally. So if a guy says to me like, oh, looking at you is like love at first sight, or you're the prettiest girl I've ever seen, or wow, I really think that I could want a relationship after meeting you, I really don't take any of these things seriously, because actions mean a lot more to me than words, and I don't really care. And then pretty much what ended up happening was this person who was super hot and heavy with me kind of like fizzled out, and we haven't spoken. And it was kind of a mutual not speaking, like he don't speak to me, I don't speak to him. And I'm not choosing what isn't choosing me. He doesn't choose me, I don't choose him. Period. End of story, it's done. And I don't take it personal at all, because I think that meeting somebody and them liking you and you liking them back is more about like compatibility and suitability than it is about if you're ugly or pretty, or if you're, you know, what they want or what they don't want. They might just not find you to be compatible with them and their lifestyle, and that's okay. And I also do believe heavily in the fact that God does remove people from your life that you are not supposed to be with. I know for me, I manifested this year for God to really show me who truly is for me and who truly isn't, and the people who aren't, to let them do whatever they need to do to move forward in their life and just kind of remove themselves from my life. And I really feel like that has already been happening for me. I feel so blessed that I already feel like people are being removed from my life, and sometimes it feels kind of sudden or random and like, whoa, but I know in my mind it's God. He's removing people that are not for me. Whether there's something bigger and better coming, I don't know. Okay, the next thing that I noticed from this Pinterest situation is to notice patterns and believe them. If a guy's a bad texter, he's gonna always be a bad texter. If he's a cheater, he's gonna probably always be a cheater. If he's flaky, he's gonna always be flaky. If he stood you up on a date once, he'll probably do it again. These are things that are so important to note. We are not people's parents, and we don't need to change people. It's not our jobs to change people, and honestly, it's not right to change people. Maybe they like who they are, and like let them like themselves. But we don't have to like them, because that's just not our business. Like, they're the ones who have to live with themselves, not us. So definitely start believing patterns, and allow yourself to really detach from people who are giving you the vibes that you don't need in your life at all. Like, I detach very, very, very fast. And I find it to be very healthy. I don't find it to be unhealthy. I don't feel the need to give anybody a chance who doesn't have respect for me. And respect is huge. So if I feel like somebody is behaving in a manner that's disrespectful, I just detach. Or I should say I never even attach, but I even detach more by just not communicating with them further. Our heart plays games with us, and our heads are usually smarter, and we have gut instincts. We know when things are not for us, and a lot of the times it takes us a little bit longer to really learn these things, because we wanna like kind of see where things go. We wanna see like, okay, is this person gonna change? Are they going to possibly behave better? Maybe if he starts to like me more and I show him more qualities that are better, maybe he'll want to stick around. No, I'm telling you, it usually doesn't happen like that. I never like to say never, only because there's always like that one exception, but I definitely think knowing your worth and not really growing attached to people is the best way to protect yourself and to save yourself from heartache and unnecessary wastes of time. Another thing that I think is so important is to stop saying yes to every date, stop being available all the time, and start prioritizing yourself. A lot of the times we as women, and I'm gonna speak for women, I do find that I always make time for people. I am a busy person, but I know how to make time for those who I want to spend time with. So I have made time for people that probably didn't deserve my time. And from this point forward, I'm probably gonna say no to more things only because I actually can't. So I think it's important that we aren't super available all the time and that we do find ways to protect our peace and our time by actually giving it to ourselves. A lot of the times we give somebody so much of ourselves that they probably lose a little bit of respect because they're like, wow, she's so available. Wow, she's like so interested in me and I barely have to do anything other than just like ask her to hang out. And it's like, no, like my time is valuable and I want you to look at it as such. And it's important that we do prioritize ourselves by saying no and by just creating a little bit more distance between those who barely know us and ourselves, because obviously it's not always necessary to take the date. I know it's nice to have free dinner. It's really nice to have free dinner, but I don't know, I just feel like it's good to be busy and it's good to sometimes be a little unavailable and hard to reach. You know what I mean? Now I want to talk quickly about how to detach after a breakup or a heartbreak or a random guy ghosting you, because these are all, you know, things that are very relevant and very prominent in a lot of women's lives and a man's life. So I definitely want to kind of cover some of these because it's really difficult to get over these things. It really is, especially if your emotions were involved. So to detach is to keep busy. Being a busy person is going to get you through a lot. You are going to realize that the days are going to fly by when you're busy and when you're keeping yourself always doing something, whether that's cleaning, hanging out with your friends, going out, maybe working on your body, trying a new hobby of some sort. I know I bring these ideas up every time, but it's so important that we do note that keeping busy will help you detach after things like this. The next thing is to have real conversations with yourself. So that means that having those, you know, shadow work type of conversations where you say like, why did I grow so attached to this person? What about this person really makes me feel like I can't live without them? Like all of these things need to be discussed. Having these real convos with yourself are going to bring a lot to the light. You're going to see that a lot of your detachment issues come from possibly childhood. They could come from past friendships, past traumas. And when you do the work, you're going to see that everything is just going to be easier to deal with. And the next time it happens to you, it's not going to be as painful because you did the work. The next thing is to stop blaming yourself for other people's decisions. It's not personal. Somebody saying that they do not choose you isn't your problem. You don't need to make it your mission to prove to them that you're worthy, whatever and whatnot. It was not personal. They might not be in the right frame of their life to be with you. They might just not want you, and them not wanting you does not have anything to do with your worth as a human being on this planet. And that's okay. And I want you to really, really understand that, because it sometimes does feel like you are so unworthy when somebody doesn't choose you. It feels like you're like in a line getting picked for like a game in high school and you're like the last to get picked every time. Like it feels so traumatic. It feels so personal, but I'm telling you, it's not personal in the game of love, in the game of dating. And the next thing is to develop healthy friendships or distance between you and the next person you talk to, so that if they do come and leave, it will hurt less. I already mentioned that earlier, but I wanted to mention it again, that it gets easier every time. You know, the next time I talk to a guy and let's just say he ghosts me or just doesn't like end up following up, I'm really not gonna care, to be honest, because I grew like zero attached with that person. I don't think it's healthy to attach yourself to anybody really at all in life. Even people that are married, you know, they could be so in love and passionately in love with their partner, and then their partner just like ups and leaves, and then they're like not a whole human. One thing I promise to myself is that in my next relationship, I will not give me as a human away again. I will not give myself away as a human. I want to keep myself whole and be a person that adds to somebody's life, but I don't want to take for my own, if that makes sense. The next thing is to move at a slower pace. That means like, let's not rush into love. Let's not rush into sex. Let's not rush into dating. We don't need to go on a date 5 times this week. We don't need to see each other every day this week. And I know it's so interesting. In the beginning of talking to somebody, you want to see them every day. And I'm the same way. Like, I love seeing somebody every day when we first start hitting it off. It's like so nice, but it's not necessary. Give yourself time to get to know and like this person. Tap into your divine feminine energy and let the trash take itself out. Bye. You wanna leave? Bye. It's so nice. I don't have to take out the trash. You're doing it for me. See ya. Bye. No hard feelings. I genuinely, like I said, don't take it personal. And again, tap into your divine feminine energy. Believe that God is receiving the things that you've asked for, and he removes people from your life when they are not for you. If you do believe in a higher power, then you will understand that people will be removed to create space for someone or something better. Every time something like kind of bad happens to me, something great kind of follows very soon after. And I do believe it has to do with a lot of my law of attraction thoughts and the manifestations that I put out there. I really, really, really do believe that being a good person and being a happy person will create a space in your life where if bad people try to penetrate your life, which they will try to hurt you, and people will try to do things to like fuck you over, but a lot of the times just like good things are going to happen to you very soon after, because it's just really difficult to mess with somebody or something that is just so high value and somebody who is so generous and loving. It's just difficult for you to really penetrate and screw that person's life up. So I try really hard to work on myself as a person, try not to be a vindictive, mean, nasty person. And I believe that because of that, people that aren't great to me, it's very brief, and then something great ends up following right after. So essentially what I wanted to just kind of go over is that becoming emotionally mature and sane will guide you down a healthy path for detachment, because you won't fall for any and everyone that you like. We are going to find people attractive. We are going to like people, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be our future partners, husbands, or whatever. I've learned that I've seen guys out that are very handsome and very good looking, but they're not for me, and it feels really good. I feel like when you're a teenager, you want to date like the first guy that you think is really hot, and you don't really care about like whether they have like great qualities and things like that. But when you become an adult, it's like such a great feeling knowing that you can like turn down people who are actually hot, because they just don't align with like the life that you're trying to put out there for yourself. And that's okay. Like, that doesn't make them bad people, you bad people. It just means they're not for you. So I think that honestly, being a detached woman is amazing, because I feel so guided by love, and I feel like my heart, when it does meet somebody really great, it will love hard, but it will take some time for me to get there. And I kind of feel that way. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I have been in love, and I know what that feels like. And I know me and my ex, when we were together, we would say I love you like right in the beginning of our relationship. But I remember the day that I actually felt like I loved him, and it was months after we started dating. And I think I remember saying to him, maybe in the car, like, wow, I think I do love you. And we've already been saying it all that time, but it was like the first day that I felt like I loved him. And I think that from this point forward, I'm going to like wait to feel those emotions and then say them. And I know it takes a while to get there. So it's a beautiful feeling, and having protection over your heart and having protection over your ability to attach is really great. And again, attaching to people is like not even really that healthy, even with friendships and things like that. Like, be attached to yourself, and that's what's most important. So I hope this helped anybody who is going through a tough time and is struggling to detach from a partner or a breakup or a ghosting situation, or a guy that they really liked who doesn't like them back, or literally anything. Or if you just want to lead your life with these thoughts going forward, I think it's super great. And it's nice to be mindful of your growing journey, and realizing that who you were yesterday isn't gonna always have to be who you are today, and you can always change. I know I have, and it feels really nice. And I actually really go to sleep at night thinking about no one, and I wake up thinking about no one but me. Until somebody does occupy that part of my brain, which it would take a lot for me to get to that point. That's how it's always gonna be. And it feels really nice. So I hope that you guys can get there too. It's a really incredible, liberating feeling. And I'm here for you guys as a girlfriend. Yes, let's do this together. Let's detach and become high value, beautiful women. All right, guys, I love you so, so much. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And let me know down below how you've mastered the art of detachment if you have already, or how you will be doing it. Okay, guys, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.
It's not my fault. You've been lying, saying that I took away your